Welcome to LSC. It's sports time. I'm your host, Bob Hens. Today I have with me Kecoughtan's girls volleyball coach, Gail Clinch. Welcome.
Thank you.
I'm glad to have you here. I know you took over the first one over there, but we want to back up a little bit and find out about where you came from. You're not from this area. Where'd you grow up?
Right between Baltimore and Washington. I'm a little farm girl.
Farm girl. See, that's what, you know, most your Baltimore words, you don't think farm girl, but your dad was a farmer, and you got into sports early?
Not until high school. There was not a whole lot available at that time for the middle school, so high school went full force.
Okay, then what did you play?
I played basketball, softball, and volleyball.
All right, what was you in basketball? What position?
Forward.
Forward.
Yeah.
Because you were taller than most of the girls? Okay. And did you find that some of the sports had carryover things that you learned from one sport you was able to use that
yes,
in the
and
other
I
sports?
still use that today. Certain positions and the way you stand in defense from a lot of sports is the same way you stand on defense as a volleyball player.
Right. Now,
So
what did you play in volleyball? Were you a spiker?
I was a hitter.
You was a hitter.
Yeah.
You get a lot of kills.
That's what I tried, as many as I could.
And then what was the other sport you played?
I played softball, and I was a pitcher, first base.
Okay, now pitchers,
Yes,
fastball. Did you have siblings that were in sports, or is this
I did. They played some sports. I guess probably I was the most athletic out of the group. But I have a little sister that plays just as much and is just a diehard volleyball player as I am now.
Okay. Well, and I know that you said that when you went to high school, that was the first year that they had volleyball.
They started it my freshman year, and then been playing. I've been playing ever since.
Right. Now, and we'll talk about this being a life sport because it is, because you can play it forever. Talk a little bit about the other. Did you play the other sports in high school also, I'm assuming?
The other sports I played, but I didn't continue with either of the others.
Right. Did you feel that you just enjoyed volleyball better, or is it just fitted your personality, or what was it?
I probably enjoyed it the most. Started playing beach ball, and it's easy to get 4 people together and go out there and play some beach, and that became a real enjoyment. Just being out there in the sand and playing your heart out. 2 people on the court. I still played sixes quite a bit, co-ed, and then developed an all-girls team. And my group of girlfriends were the Spiker Hiker Bikers, and we've been together.
Spiker Hiker Bikers?
Yes, we started playing volleyball together, then we started backpacking together, and then we started doing the MS 150 bike ride. So we became the Spiker Hiker Bikers, and we've been together for 15. Thursday night's our night. We get together almost every Thursday night.
Wow, that's awesome. Okay, now, when you graduated, you kind of got recruited in volleyball to a community school.
Yes, I did.
And what was the name of the college?
Catonsville Community. Played a couple of years there. It was a good, decent, high-level community college. And then went on to become a graphic artist.
Okay. And then you got married?
Got married, had 3 wonderful children. We kind of crisscrossed.
Your husband was in the military?
My husband was in the military. And
did you do a lot of traveling?
We did. We crisscrossed the country quite a bit. Didn't spend too much time out of the country, but we went back and forth, and I've been in this area, being as strong military as it is, since '93.
Okay, so, what branch was your husband in?
He was Navy.
Navy. So by this traveling and different states and all, did you keep up with volleyball when you get to the other state? Did you find out where there were volleyball
I did.
teams?
When I was in San Diego, I played beach. When I was stationed a couple of times in Idaho, wasn't much beach, but I played on the Navy Captain Cups team. My team won. They got a little upset because there was girls on it at that point, but anyway, and so I would create teams pretty much wherever I went.
Well, you just threw me a curve. I'm thinking Navy, coast, not Idaho.
There was nuclear prototype plants.
Okay, it's because I was thinking, there's not many ships in Idaho.
A couple of times.
And you had 3 kids, and they all went, 2 of them's already graduated from college,
Yes.
One's the other. Talk a little bit about what they went to school.
My oldest, well, all 3 of them went through Phoebus High School, so they all grew up here, and Phoebus graduated very high in their classes. First one went off to William and Mary, graduated. Second one just graduated from UVA this last summer. And my third one is in her 4th year at Carnegie Mellon.
Wow.
And a couple of them will keep going.
So that kind of makes you proud to see
proud.
that they continue on with their education and everything. And was your daughter, which one was a valedictorian at Phoebus?
My daughter.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, that's got to make Mama proud.
Yes, they all do, and they all are doing wonderful in their new careers, and will continue to do so.
Okay, now then you've been staying active with and we talked a little bit about this being a lifetime sport. Talk a little more about this being a lifetime sport before we get into getting over to Kecoughtan, if you would.
When I moved here, there's what we call club ball or USAV. I played USAV adult volleyball for a few years, and that's how I got to meet a lot of my spiker, hiker, biker friends. Then we carried that over to the beach and started just playing a lot of beach. My beach partner and I actually were Virginia Beach champions in 2003, a long time ago. So, yeah, I had a beach partner for about 10 years. She and I worked hard and played and really enjoyed ourselves playing beach ball. So I've stayed in it, either indoors or outdoors. For a lot of years.
Yeah, well, and that's good. Then you started coaching, and was the first gig you had at CNU?
My first gig actually was with my daughter. When she turned about 10, she started playing at Williamsburg Volleyball Club, and I was a parent coach, and then an assistant coach, and then moved on up to being coaches, or being a coach at Williamsburg. So there's club ball for younger kids. They can start 8, 9, 10, and move on up. So it's considered year-round volleyball. That's what's available. So I started with her coaching. I've been coaching club ball, different organizations since 2003. And then I became a JV coach at Hampton Hampton Roads Academy. And then moved from there to Christopher Newport, and I was an assistant coach at Christopher Newport.
And that's when they had we're talking awesome team.
Yes, some of the best volleyball in the country is right here in our neck of the woods. They're still fabulous to watch. I spent this weekend watching them. It's an amazing free thing to go watch. They play this Wednesday, but anyway, just fabulous volleyball at Christopher Newport. And so I was there for 3 years, and then when I heard that Hampton was opening up volleyball, I applied to the Hampton schools, and Kecoughtan took me in.
Did you have to go through a process where they interviewed you and everything with Lee?
Yes.
Lee Martin and the different people.
Yep.
So you took over, the first year was going to be offered, and I wondered, did you wonder why it wasn't done earlier when your kids were at Phoebus? I mean, I'm sure if somebody is involved in volleyball, you say, why are you not having this in the Hampton schools?
There were people that were pushing for it for a long time, trying to get it started in Hampton. I kind of joked that we were probably the only place in the country that didn't have girls volleyball, at least.
Right.
So even the tiny little schools can get it. It's a simple sport to set up. And this is a great area for it. Southside has very strong teams. And so when they finally got it going, it was great. And we started from ground zero. I mean, just...
Right. So talk a little bit about the change, because you took them from very few playing volleyball, and now 3 years later, how's your team has changed?
Well, we actually came out real strong from day one. I had players that had never played, which sometimes is great. They have no bad habits. They just listen to Coach Gail and come out there and play their hearts out. And it's my passion. I love the game, and I think I instill that in the girls. They respect my coaching, and so they really want to give me everything they've got, and they do. They show it. And so we started off from players having never played, and this year, you know, I've had these girls for 3 years, and they're coming off at some fantastic players just after 3 years of high school ball.
All right, so talk a little bit about how much a JV program would be for you. Plus, also talk about if you could get a JV program, how you could get the girls in these club teams where they could play year round.
Right. Club is offered. It is year round. Like I said, you could start at age 10. There's a number of clubs in the area. But JV would be just ideal for us to get to the level that Southside is and the surrounding higher level volleyball is you really need a JV program.
Right.
And we can get those girls in, started at their freshman year, get a couple of solid years in there of playing, and then let them come up to the varsity. Normally a volleyball team, you want maybe 10 players, 9, 10, 11 players. I keep 18 in order to keep a future because there is no JV. Unfortunately, that takes some of the time and the court touches away from if it was just a varsity team,
right.
and then I could actually have more on JV coming through. So it hurts. I kind of have had extensive volleyball coaches training. I didn't just come out just because you can play doesn't mean you can coach. So
Absolutely.
I came out with some extensive training under some of the national coaches and the top college coaches in the country. And I kind of know this new school volleyball and really how to get the most out of every minute, which I can do with that many girls, but boy, I just think of all the other drills I could be doing if I had just varsity and just a JV. It would be, the level of competition would just soar.
Oh, well, that's awesome. Talk a little bit about you. You had the Dig Pink and the adoptive program you guys got over there with your team.
Every October, we have done a Dig Pink breast cancer awareness tournament. We go out and we get all our pinks and we decorate the gym and memory board and things and set that all up, and everything that comes in that evening is donated to Dig Pink. And it's a national organization, just like you see some of the football players wearing pink. We just do this through volleyball also. And then another thing we started this year that I was very proud of my girls, and I kind of asked them and let them decide that we would adopt a sister team. And Heritage High School happens to be the school that we adopted. And we said when we fundraise, we'll give them a certain percentage of it. Some of those girls, unfortunately, can't buy knee pads or the spandex or the shoes that they need. And what we were able to do is donate $200 and a bag full of some gear and knee pads and collected things. And we presented it to them the evening we played them. And I'm hoping they'll continue to do that. And I think that's showing community involvement and not just here to play some ball, but let's get out there and help our community.
Talk a little bit about some of the members you have on your team. McKenna?
Yes, McKenna Simpson, senior. Right now, she just goes up and you pretty much, it's either going to be in play or it's going to be a kill. Her hitting errors are so far and few between right now. It's a coach's dream to have that. Yeah. So, ideally we like to feed it into McKenna as much as we can.
Well, before you go on to another one, let's talk a little bit about, she was one of the very first to become Athlete of the Week.
Yes,
and we were able to give a T-shirt to. And how did your team respond to that?
We brought her T-shirt and announced it to everybody, and they were very proud of her. And they're like, well, how do we get that? And so we were explaining, the stats show this and whatever, and she's gung-ho, never stops, and so that's something they can strive to be in the future also. Well,
Wu-Bei goes over there and he says, I'm becoming like a rock star. They just love me now because I got the T-shirt and he's doing the thing. But talk a little more about some of the other team
well, just real quick, McKenna is also a setter, so she's very versatile. My other setter hitter is Allie Alney, another senior. I have had her for a couple of years now, and she's doing really well. Her hitting's coming right along. Her serving is amazing. And she just puts up some nice, beautiful sets. So her sister doing really well. And then my libero, Danielle, or we call her Danny, Kidd, is doing real well back row. She doesn't let much go past her. She wants to fight everything. She's learning to be, as a libero, I'm got to be and ready to touch every single ball. I'm there in case somebody misses it. I'm there. And she's really striving to do that and doing a good job of it.
That's the kind of player you love to have on your team. Talk about the ability of volleyball to get to the next level for a scholarship on to college or whatever.
Well, college has every different level. There's D1s where girls can walk in and play. There's D3 where they've been recruiting for years and they've got everybody picked all the way through their sophomore year in high school. So first misnomer is that D1 is really good and D3 is not. Go watch Christopher Newport and see how good D3 can be. Right. But as far as scholarships, again, another little thing that would help that is to have JV, to bring our level up. Right. Would bring out more scholarships and abilities for that to happen in our high schools here. Right. But there's a few more right now for actually the boys, and we do have a boys team, and the scholarships are coming out for them. And since we are still very young, that's going to come. But another thing is that my girls are also smart. They go to the really high-level schools, and they've got some really, really tough volleyball programs in there too. So it's not that they couldn't get scholarships money to certain schools, but you know when they want, these girls are getting into Virginia and stuff, and these girls that they're recruiting have been playing year-round and have been playing for 10 years. Unfortunately, you know, we've been playing for 3.
Well, I think as the kid Russell Long over at Bethel's going full scholarship to Penn State, and I said, well, this is awesome. Well, let's talk a little bit about, you've got a assistant coach who's been with you, in fact, played for you.
Yes.
And come back to talk a little bit about her.
Jackie, her first played with me for 1 year before it was time for her to graduate, and then she became my assistant coach the following year. And she was just amazing, really connected with the girls still. They treated her like a coach, which was always kind of something to worry about a little bit, but never had a problem with that. Then she went on to coach with me at juniors, where she was paid. The assistant coaches in the city are not paid, but she then did get a paid job assisting with me at Hampton Juniors. So and you know, that has opened up her world, and I think she'll be a really good coach somewhere else. She's back in school right now, so she's not with me at this part of the season. And then I have another girl that graduated last year. She's assisting the boys club team at Longwood. I have another girl that I haven't coached probably in 6 years, and I got a text from her last week, and she says, I just played my first club game at Virginia Tech, and I was voted MVP, and I was thinking about you, Coach. Thanks for getting me into this. So that's part of that Lifetime Sports. She's not playing college ball at Virginia Tech, but she's playing their club, and they have some very high-level club ball there, and so that was pretty neat for me to get that text from her. So I'm thinking about you. I'm like, I make a little difference.
I want to kind of wrap this up, but this has been awesome. Talk a little bit about how this sport has helped you in your life and in raising your kids and going on to coach, and how you deal with students and with parents.
Well, the students are the easy part.
And that's the truth.
They really are. The students they've been great. My parents have been fantastic also. I think I have real good communication with them. They know what's going on. If they don't, I have just pretty much open door. Come talk to me. You don't understand something, I can't fix it if you don't come talk to me. And so far that seems to be working. So I am just so blessed to have the best students, the best players, and the best parents out there. As far as volleyball, I was not the best student. So volleyball and my sports kept me in school. I mean, I still would have been in school, but it kept me at a higher level. I had to be in order to continue playing. And, you know, my parents are like, if you don't keep this up, you know, the grades up, then this is what has to go. And so for those students that, you know, maybe school's not their best thing, these sports can help them and give them the motivation that they need, and then time management. My girls are just, thank goodness, really doing well at that, because takes a lot of time on the team. We just did homecoming this last weekend, so even out of our actual games, we're doing extra stuff also.
Well, your tournament starts next week. I want to
on Monday.
Wish you luck.
Thank you.
On your what?
On Monday.
On
tournament starts Monday.
Okay. So yeah, so we'll keep track and see how you're doing.
Great.
All right, appreciate you coming in. I want to thank you for tuning in to LSC and Sports Time. I want to thank my special guest, Gail Clinch. I'm your host, Bob Hintz. Until next time.
Hi, I'm Gail Clinch, head girls volleyball coach at Kecoughtan High School. You're watching LSC, all sports, all the time.